Hello, my name is Jill Bowen, CEO of Northwestern Medical Center and your host of the NMC Health Beat Show, dedicated to discussing important healthcare topics of interest to our community. Today, Rear Admiral Warren Ham joins me in the studio, and we're going to be talking about the veteran-sponsored Valet program at Northwestern Medical Center. And this has truly been an amazing addition to our services to the community. So thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
It's great to have you here. And, you know, when I think of you and your wife, Barbara, you're just sort of everywhere helping to make this a better community. So I want to personally thank you for your leadership in what's brought this Veterans Valet program to where it is today. I think it's exceeded all of our expectations. So here we are talking about it, and there may be folks in our viewers that don't know about the Veterans Valet. So maybe you could give us a little bit of history, how this all got started, and what's happening today with the Valet program.
I'd love to, because I really think this is great.
It is.
A couple of years ago, when you all started your fund drive for the renovation, I was walking around up there one day, and I looked out the front and I saw these people shuffling up that little hill, pushing walkers and oxygen bottles. They obviously were having a difficult time. And I just thought, God, there's got to be some better way than this. And so that was a seed there. And then when you started your program, I thought it'd be really neat if all the veterans organizations could get together and do something for the hospital. Started out with the county-wide, but we narrowed it down to the Vietnam veterans, the Sheldon and the St. Albans Legion, and the St. Albans VFW. And we sat down, we talked about this thing, and they all thought it was a good idea. And so we came up with a figure of $50,000 between the three of them, four of them, for over 5 years. And then I went to see you, and I said, money is good, but it's transitory. You don't see it many times. We need something that's tangible, and the people could say, hey, I'm doing something. They could see it.
Yeah.
So you and I talked about this Valet. I know you were very enthused about it from your previous experience.
Yes.
And so that's how we came up with the Valet parking. And it's taken off fantastically. There's a little drop in usage right now, but we think it's number one, the snowbirds, and then your new facility has adequate handicap parkings, and that has a little effect. And then it's cold.
Sure, sure.
But even so, it's sought after. A couple of people told us they schedule their appointments around when they know there's going to be a valet service. So that's a good sign.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so we had the two parts of this thing, getting volunteers to do the actual transporting and running, so forth and so on, and then coming up with the hardcore cash. And we sort of delegated that. There's two parts, groups of people working on both parts. So as I said, it's very successful. The valet parking has two parts also. People can come up and they can leave the passenger, and then go down, park the car, we can go get them. Or we can take their car and park it for them. And then when they come back out, we'll go and get it for them.
That's a beautiful thing.
And people were wringing their hands, insurance, all that sort of stuff. But that's no problem. The hospital has jumped in and got that all smoothed out. And so there is no problem with making this thing work. We have two people on watch at a time. One is at the main gate, main desk, or the main entrance, and has radio communication with the driver. So we can push him here or there, wherever we want.
And what's the driver driving?
The driver is driving a Navy commissioned vehicle with a bottle of champagne. It's an elongated golf cart.
Yes.
Carries 6 people, air conditioning and heat. And there's certainly some challenges, but we're working through them. And they have, as I said, 2 watches a day. And the people really are pleased to sign up for this. It's a tonic for the drivers because they can see the the facial expression of elation when they don't have to walk up that hill or the blowing wind.
Yes.
They're taken here, taken there. And the drivers will sort of play it by ear. They'll go where they see groups of people or just slowly cruise around or wait until they see. It's up to them.
Sure.
And it seems to be working out very well.
That's terrific. And you mentioned there's 2 watches. What hours are you available? And is it 5 days a week or?
It's 5 days a week.
Okay.
It goes from, I think it's 08:30 to 15:30, 3:30.
Okay. Well,
I may be
great.
off a little bit, but we've started this with the idea we adjust it according to the workload.
Sure.
So this could change, and we could even have one person, but it's flexible. We would like to have a pool of about 24 drivers or watchstanders. We've got about 18 now.
Wow.
We certainly like to get more and more people. And I think it's a tonic. Get the heck out of your house and don't watch the boob tube. Go up there and drive this thing and make people feel good.
And that makes you feel good, right? It's a win-win, right? What's the benefit for the folks volunteering?
Psychologically.
Isn't it powerful?
You're out, you're actually doing something for somebody.
Yeah. So
Not
rewarding.
talking. Yeah, you're doing and making them feel better.
Yeah.
And plus, it's healthy for you to get out and talk and see how people are going. And
Yeah.
keeps you up with the local gossip.
It is. It's social. And you know, when you look at the total well-being of folks, being in social settings and giving back to the community is very fulfilling
Yes.
for your own health. So if someone's watching us and they want to volunteer, what do they do?
They can get hold of me, and I will give them the right person. I can get them an application.
Okay. And do we get that go to the hospital, or do they call you, or?
Call me, and I'll make it simple. We'll deliver them the application, set up all the appointments and things like that.
And do you want to give your number out so people know what it is?
Only good-looking people. My number is 527-7015. 527-7015. And the process is you get an application and you fill it out, and then we take it, and the hospital looks at it, and because we're part of the hospital, we come under their umbrella,
Sure.
which is a big benefit. And so their person in charge of the volunteers, they do the actual scheduling, things like that.
Sure.
And they will give you an instruction, a couple hours instruction on what goes on in the hospital. You get certain benefits from the hospital, free meals when you're working, and little things like that.
Nice.
But just the comradeship
Absolutely.
and the idea, hey, you're doing something for somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, the majority of our veteran volunteers are in their 70s and 80s. And we got one in the 90s. I'm getting close there. Very close. But the point is, age has nothing to do with it. A couple of the guys have got, they hobble along, but they're sitting down. They can do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you mentioned 2 things. Volunteering, which is fabulous. You've given out your number and everything. You're going to hand deliver applications. That's fantastic. Now is the money part. So how are you raising this money, and what can we do to help on that part?
Raising money never ceases to amaze me. I was a naval officer, and that's the last thing we worried about, or we did. We worried about money, yes, taxpayers' money, but we didn't have to go out and raise it. But since I retired, I seem to become an expert on raising money. So the veterans organizations, it's tough to maintain just the buildings and things like that.
Sure.
So when we started this, I said, hey, I understand that you can't really dump in X number of thousands of dollars. So the idea is to have fundraisers amongst
Okay.
yourselves. You organize them, and or we'll have other ideas. It seems as though I'm spending half my days on this thing here. But to give you some ideas of how we've raised, and it's no secret, we pledged 50,000, and today we've got 17,000. I think that's very good.
It's excellent.
We still got a few years to go.
Right. You're just starting. That's fantastic.
I can't die. I got to stay around until we meet the goal.
Exactly. And then some.
We've had some of the ladies making pies. That was
Wow.
phenomenal. We netted $2,000.
Net 2,000 on pies.
I said we ought to stop, just make pies from now. And then the Sheldon Legion auctioned off a bow, and they're going to do a handgun. The St. Albans Legion has had money raffles, very, very good. People like to bet on money and win money.
Absolutely.
We've got a donation from Ace Hardware. Then 14th Star and People's Trust ran a half marathon last year, and they're going to run another one in September of this year. And then Twig's Restaurant has come up with a phenomenal thing on the 26th, 27th, and 28th of
That's
January.
26, 27, and
January.
28. Okay.
It's a chili.
Oh.
Five types of chili.
Oh, I love the names that you're showing.
Yeah, and they thought they'd have it the military, Chili of the Brave, 21 gun salute, U.S. Pacific Command, pork chop hill chili with pork, chili of honor, and 5-star chili.
Fantastic. So how do we get in on this here?
Just go visit Twigs,
And what time is that on
All
those
day.
dates?
All day.
day on those 3 days?
and all the profits from the chili meals will come to the Valet, Veterans Valet.
That's fantastic.
So Twigs has really hopped on the bandwagon, is really doing something for us.
That's great. Hats off to them. That's super to support
Man,
this.
All you got to do is stop in,
I will.
bowl of chili.
I will. Especially with all the cold we've been having. It's a perfect chilly time.
And then we ourselves are running a Calcutta night on the 27th.
Okay. Oh, so this is all right
All
together.
at the same, which I think is good. Concentrate on it. Everybody.
Get them
Everywhere
focused.
they go, they hear about the Veterans Ballet.
Right.
And
You better have applications ready too.
yeah, we have them. We have them. So the Calcutta will take place at the museum.
Okay.
Museum has donated that to the ballet cause.
Fantastic.
And first, the grand prize is $3,000.
Okay.
But the chili,
Beautiful.
we still have a few tickets left. We're doing very good. I got sweat now. We got to
And
sell
what
them.
time is the Calcutta on the 27th?
Well, it starts at 5 o'clock, social hour.
Okay.
Then the meal by Lease Gates at
Oh,
6.
nice.
2 meats. And then the festivities will start as soon as the eating is over.
Okay.
And that's Dave Bulliol. He's doing that. He's always very clever. That's a humorous thing to watch.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
great weekend you've got lined up.
So then the Community National Bank in Enosburg donated $5,000 over the 5 years. Ben and Jerry's made a big donation. Holy Trinity Episcopal Church in Swanton made a donation. And the Total Home Center has given us an item of our choice to auction off at our discretion.
Wow. Well, you've got a good lineup. I mean, you've already got a lot of money raised, and you've got some great events, and you've got some great commitments. So
Yeah, we still got
I
intact.
know the job isn't done until it's done.
That's right.
But boy, you've got a great lineup there.
But the sort of the theme of this thing is the veterans are sort of a different breed of people. The difference is we all raised our right hand and said you obey the orders of the president, you'll go where you do, you're told what you do.
Right.
So in essence, when you do that, you said you will give your life for your country. Not one of us goes in with that idea, but that's the difference.
Yeah.
And the guys are used to making quick decisions. Like one incident up there, a man had a tire come off his wheelchair.
Oh.
He didn't know what to do, he was messing up the works. So one of my guys, they fixed the tire, put the tire back on. Well, your people said, oh, you can't do that. You got to call so-and-so. I said, listen, you're dealing with different kinds of people.
Yeah.
There's a problem, it's taken care of by whoever's on the scene there. And it's done rightly. So
That's terrific.
it's a different group who are used to inconveniences. Look at them out here driving that vehicle in this cold weather. They think that's great. Beet red faces, nose dribbling, but they're still smiling.
That's right. That's right.
And
That's
sort
awesome.
of the theme of this thing is veterans have served and are still serving.
Exactly.
And so this business, well, I'm too old, well, that's a bunch of junk.
Right. Well, thank you so much for describing the Veterans Valet with such passion. And you're an amazing leader. And I want to thank you again for your leadership and your commitment to serve. And when we did christen that cart with that champagne,
Well, I got to say, simulated champagne,
simulated champagne,
but we did
it was an amazing thing to see you all there in your uniforms. I was totally touched. My heart was touched by what you're doing for this community in Northwestern Medical Center. But serving your country, you're serving it really forever when you take that oath. And so thank you very, very much. And we're going to make sure we have great turnout at that chili cook-off or the chili test on the 26th, 27th, and 28th, the Calcutta on the 27th. So we're going to continue to support your great work.
Thank you. Have I got a minute?
We'll give you maybe a minute.
I got to say, the Navy was good to me. I made 2 stars. It took a lot of work, yes. But so I want to give back to the community instead of working somewhere, some of my good fortune. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I love doing it. But I can't do any of this thing without good people, as you know.
Yeah.
So my right hand to this thing is Homer Weatherby.
Yes.
He's a good man, even
He
though he's
is.
Air Force.
Now we're going to get into Navy, Air Force.
No, I just had to say that. Jim Lavoie, Kevin Moore, Bill Brunson, Mike Shepard, Francis Potter, and of course you're Jeff Monroe.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything without that man.
Jeff Moreau.
And he's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
He's a gift.
And we just got a submariner aboard, Rod Brigham. So that's the team that is pushing this
Yeah.
thing and making it all possible.
That's fantastic. And they all have the excitement that you have about this. So thank you. And thank you for serving the community. Wow. I mean, we can't beat this one, can we? It's been wonderful to have you all join us for this session on the Veterans Valet at Northwestern Medical Center. And please make sure that we're always thinking about our veterans and how they served our country. And now they're serving you, each of you, in our community by parking your cars, greeting you at the door, and giving you a ride back and forth to your car. So thank you for serving again. Thank you for joining us today.